Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pure Lie. You are right here where you're supposed to be. Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome. So, for those of you that are used to watching the show, you know that we start off with our sponsors. So, here we go.
Hey, sis. My name is Yasmin Brown, and I am the founder of Beauties on Successful Strides. We are your sisterhood community that cares, and we are advocates for your goals being achieved. I'm talking about those goals that you have put on the shelf, those stretch goals that you really want to accomplish, but a part of you feel like it might be impossible. We have been helping women to make the impossible happen, and we want to journey with you. We want to be part of your tribe to help you with making the impossible happen. And we do that by helping you to shift from the no zone. The no zone is that zone where it's like, you know what, I really want to do it, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I have enough resources to do so or the support to do so. The no zone is also the fear zone. We help you to shift from the no zone to the no matter what zone. The no matter what zone is having that head crusher, no matter what, get it done, bold, confident mindset. And then we help you to be equipped with spiritual success strategies to success. That is basically helping you with developing systems that works while being part of a community that will support you, love on you, cheer for you, celebrate you, be resource providers for you, and so much more. The time is now, sis. If you are serious about your goals being achieved, if you are serious about making the impossible happen and reaching that next level, then join us. Become part of our sisterhood. Become part of a community that truly, genuinely cares. And I'm just excited to welcome you to Boss soon. Let's go. Let's take them goals off the shelf. Let's make them happen. Let's make the impossible happen for you. See you soon. Bye.
Bye. So, for those of you that would like to join us at beautystrives.com, there's the website. You will not regret it. I am so happy that I joined this organization. They are a part of why I have the show in the first place and why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, you need somebody to back you up, to encourage you, to provide you with resources. We have courses. We have people that are in all kinds of different areas of different industries to assist in what it is that you have goals for doing, you know. So, beautystrives.com. Get with it, I'm trying to tell you. And for those of you that like some of the outfits that I've worn on the show, we have posh women's apparel, classy, sophisticated, stylish. Here are some of the outfits that they have on the website. I wore that one off to the corner there. And here's some more that I've worn. Bam. 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 There you go. And for those of you that are about some shades for the summer, go to my website and you will see Abella Eyewear. Under Abella Eyewear, you will get 30% off on those shades and blue blockers. And that's just a few of the pair that they have, just 30% off. And if you go to that, you will help my channel, help the show. So I truly appreciate it if you do. Now, we are going to move forward. We have our special guest from last week, because this is part 2. We have Dr. Aaron Jamal, and supporting the episode, we have Dr. Margaret Jamal as well. Welcome them.
Hi. Good to be here.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for being here. And just in case you have missed it, maybe you are new to the show, These are not only my wonderfully talented producers, but these are also my parents.
Indeed. We did that
They did
together.
that.
God
They
and
did
us.
that.
Right?
They
God did it
did
through us.
that.
Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Amen. And we are talking about aging fearlessly
Oh my
Yes.
today.
goodness.
So, those of you that are watching, please feel free to participate. Leave your comments and your questions, and we will see them and address them accordingly.
Mhm.
So, we're
While
going
I'm
to
trying
go.
to hide that I'm fanning because of this is one of the things that come with aging, where you get like
Oh,
they
come
call them
on.
hot. Why they call them hot flashes? They should be sweat instances. You don't
Okay.
just get hot; you
Oh,
get
Lord.
hotness.
You've been hot all your life, girl.
Indeed, now this is
Well,
true.
Jesus will work it out.
Amen.
Um, I'm hot too. I just came from a rehearsal. Real quick, I will be performing at the Lollapalooza with the rest of this choir. Chicago and the Key of Chicago is what we are doing, and this is making
Yes,
history. This is the first that they have featured gospel music at Lollapalooza. It will be happening
wonderful.
this Sunday, August 1st, 12:30 to 1:15. Be there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you and your sister are going to be
Me and
singing
my
with them
sister,
as the
Gina, the
family sings
wonderful,
together.
beautiful Sperlin, will be there with me. And we are going to have
Yay!
fun. We're
Awesome.
going to get in. Yes.
Hey, there's Felix.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
hello. Hi, Felix. That's my super fan right there. I don't know. I feel like I have to give you an unofficial job or something. You're super awesome. We love you.
Yeah, when is his birthday? We'll give him one of our family birthday songs.
Oh, well, drop your birthday, Felix. You're about to get a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See, this is what we do. We treat our people like family
Yes, we do.
because we love
And we treat our family like people.
you.
Okay, I'm not sure about that
Thank you,
one.
Felix. Okay, his birthday is December 17th. Okay, I'm going to put it in my personal calendar, Felix. Your
Okay.
birthday.
And we won't wait till Christmas to wish him a happy birthday, right?
Right.
We on it. We on it. Okay, so we're going to
Okay.
get into this topic,
Mm-hmm.
aging fearlessly. Let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
I have so many questions. I have so many things I'd like to discuss. Please
Okay.
begin, Dr. Aaron Jamal.
Okay, so one of the things it is that we were talking about, and I think Dr. Margaret actually brought that to the table as well, is this aging aspect. It does fare differently for women than it does for men. That's the truth. There are different aspects, I should say, that women have to address or are confronted with than men. And the truth of the matter is that it is unfair. I'm going to start off there, just being very honest. It isn't right for women to be judged more harshly or whatever because of some quote unquote markers that they cite for women. Like, for instance, if it is that a woman is showing some type of wrinkle, or if a woman, for whatever reason, is showing, if her body shapes is changing somehow, they're more harsh in the criticism about what it is that a woman is or able to do. I read, in fact, I am still looking at a book from Joan London. She was host of was Good Morning America, and one of the things it is, and she's an amazing woman that actually overcame or was a survivor, I should say, of cancer, and she's done so many things. But in her, I guess she had left the show, and then she was coming back, and she ended up with a interview. And in the interview, the guy that was interviewer said, "So how is it then? What does it feel like for you, somebody that's a senior citizen returning to Good Morning America?" One, she was stunned because she had never even thought about that somebody was considering her a senior citizen. Two, she's like, "That's how you see me?" you know. And then because she had never actually called herself a senior citizen herself, she's like, "You
Mm.
talking to me?" You see?
See?
um, but the challenge there, and unfortunately, he did move on. The fact it was in her book means that she didn't quite move on from it, but it shouldn't have even been something that was brought up, really, because it doesn't really define who you are. One of the things it is that I'm seeing as well, is that this culture that we're in, when we're talking about the United States, is one of the cultures that does not only celebrate birthdays, but uses the birthdays as a marker for your life, as though, once you've reached this point, you're done. Once you've reached this point, you
Mhm.
can't do anything. Once you've reached this point, it's time for you to go away. All of those markers are not necessarily something that the rest of the world views. And in many situations, after it is that you've actually lived a certain length of time, they begin to celebrate that you're still here. So it's a bad thing, I believe, that so many people are caught up into the whole thing. Now we celebrate birthdays, and by celebrating birthdays, I don't mean that we use that as an opportunity to throw some shade at you, talk some kind of slant about what you don't look like or whatever. It's important for us to celebrate that you're still with us, to celebrate
Mhm.
who you are, and to bring up some of those wonderful things about you on this day that we're celebrating you. So I think the same should be true in celebrating everyone, regardless of whether or not you are male or female,
Mhm.
and regardless of whether or not you're young or older. The
Mm-hmm.
aging aspect is one that we need to, I believe, change as far as the mindset here. I'm talking about primarily in the United States area.
Mm.
So just to
I
get started.
completely agree. I completely agree. One of the things I remember seeing, there was a magazine that was like 40s is the new 20s. And they were referencing Lopez and Janet Jackson. Now those two
Hmm.
are in their 50s, early 50s. And the reasoning for saying this was not because they were just youthful in nature, it was with their appearance. They didn't look as old as they were. So, oh, you don't have to look this way. The 40s is the new 20s. You can look like you're in your 20s, So, and some of the people that I've seen, some of the celebrities, when they start developing wrinkles, but they're still youthful and they're still, living their good life,
Hmm.
it's like, are you guys saying that they don't represent it because they have wrinkles?
Hmm.
Mm.
I'm like, so I have to admit that that alone painted how I saw myself, you
Hmm.
know.
Mm.
Like I don't care, people say, "Oh, I don't want to ask how old you are because you know how women are." I don't know why that's a thing. I don't care. I'll tell people I'm 36 years old. Uh, at the same time,
What? You
I,
older than me?
my mother is hilarious. At the same time, it's like it's not the fact that I'm 36 years old that'll make me feel old. It's the fact that I have a 16-year-old son. He's a
Mm.
junior in high school. My children. Before I even hit 50, all of them will be gone to college. You know,
Okay.
and it's like that's great, but then it's like, wait, they're almost there. you know I'm seeing it and feeling it at the same time, and then I'm subconscious about it because of it. It's
Hmm.
like, my wardrobe, I'm like, I'll go in front of my kids. Do I look like a mom? And the way I look like a mom, I'm changing. No, you said I look like a mom. I'm changing my clothes. I will send clothes back. Like, how do I look? Do I look like cool? Am I good? Can I fit in? I'm just being completely transparent here and honest. I feel uncomfortable when I've visibly aged.
Mm.
Well, but why is that though? I mean, truthfully, we all are impacted by the way others think about us. That's true. So I'm not suggesting you live in an altered reality. Why wouldn't you again celebrate? Okay, let me preface
May
it
I?
this way. Let me preface it this way
Okay.
too. Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
The There are cultures where you ask somebody their age and they say, I don't know. Why do you ask? And they mean that. They've not tracked their years to where it's a factor. So they don't understand. Why
Oh,
are you asking that? What is that about? You know,
oh,
what about me don't you understand?
thank you,
Okay.
Felix. He said
But
Okay.
36 is
So,
young.
okay. So, and the reality of when we're talking about is that it depends on where you are in terms of who's viewing you, right? That you might feel that way. So ultimately, we have a choice to actually entertain their thoughts as being valuable or discard them. The truth of the matter is that we should wear ourselves as our badge. We are who we are, not the number, right?
Mm,
You're a mom. You're an awesome mom. That should be something of honor, right? Not something that you are pulling back and trying to hide by the way it is that you're dressing, right? Your children are a blessing
right?
to you. You agree?
I agree. They are a blessing. They're wonderful
Okay,
children.
so you're our daughter. You are a blessing unto us. So we're
Mhm.
not going to say, well,
Well, thank
she couldn't be our daughter. She's too old.
Right.
you.
Can I just say something too, as far as
Sure.
aging fearlessly? Is if you're afraid, the thing that we want to get past first and foremost is being afraid of aging, period.
Right.
You
Yes.
know, and then even it's like old is a bad word.
Hmm.
I think that we ought to write a bill, and the bill should be that everyone respects old and that old is good. See, what has happened in our civilization is that old became a bad word. You said, I feel like I'm getting old, like that's a bad thing. How about this? I feel like I'm getting old. Ooh, I'm getting wiser. I'm getting more experience. I'm becoming
Mm,
more valuable. I'm getting old. That's a good
mm,
thing. And that is the mentality that we have a choice to have. Nobody told
right.
us that we should see old as something that's bad. And I'm
Right.
saying we
Right.
need to say old is good. We're going to get a button that says old is good. You should be old.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing about it is, I actually tell my children, I said, getting older, because my lovely, beautiful little daughter, who is only 11, said, "I want to be a baby again." She said, "I don't want to get old. I want to just stay a child."
Mhm.
And I said, "Every year that you live is a blessing, because there are so many that didn't even make it as far as you have." And so I say this to them, you know, and I mean it. But I think
Mhm.
what happens is, it's like, yes, we appreciate that we've made it another year, but we don't want to show it. We don't want it to
Okay.
be visible.
May I say something to that?
Me
Um,
too after you.
as far as, see, what I'm saying is we kind of add the negative to old. Yeah, it looks distinct. In other words, what I'm saying is the appearance is what you're being challenged by, and you're equating unattractive to old,
Correct.
right? Less attractive to old. And I'm saying we need to change our perspective.
Hmm.
Realistically, we just need to do that. And it says who? Do you know there was a time when being brown skin was considered unattractive?
Hmm.
Big lips were considered unattractive.
Hmm.
Yes.
And people were trying to do like this and get them little lips. Now people are getting injections so they can look like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm, just, you know, I'm just saying,
Oh, Lord.
it's
She does.
who. That's right. Who determines what's attractive? And
Hmm.
we keep kind of like following along with it. I'm saying, I was just looking at a picture. I wish that we could have posted it. It's a picture that your dad actually took of your granny.
Hmm.
Okay.
And it is,
Well,
of all the pictures I
you send it
have,
to me
it's my
again.
favorite picture.
Okay.
And it's, yeah. And you see her, you see wrinkles and you
Mm.
see life. a life that's lived. And there's nothing, and I'm being perfectly honest, transparent, all of that. There's nothing that I see when I look at her that says less attractive.
Hmm.
Mm,
Nothing.
she's a
Hmm.
You
beautiful
see,
person.
I'm saying we have put the emphasis on the wrong thing.
Agreed.
And I'm saying it takes us to make a change, to make a difference, to
Hmm.
stop seeing ourselves as someone who should be afraid of aging.
Agreed.
Old is not a bad word. And speaking
Yeah.
of which, I don't even like the term. Like you get this, the makeup is anti-aging. Anti-aging. If you're not
Yeah.
aging, what are you doing? How you can't stop aging? So anti-aging, they should get sued about that. That's not as described. That's false
Don't sue them
advertising.
people. Don't
That's
sue them
that's
people.
no,
No.
that's false
Yes, but
advertising. You
you
age.
do have a point. I know why they say anti-aging because they're saying anti the effects of aging, but I do
But it
understand
doesn't
what you're saying.
it doesn't even anti the effects of aging because you still age. All you did was slap some makeup and some cream. You slide off the pillow at night. You got so much lye and lard and stuff on your face, and then you're shining, so you don't even see the wrinkles because you got all kind of stuff packed in the wrinkles. But you haven't stopped aging a bit. I'm just saying.
What's so funny is you're right because I bought one time this anti-aging moisturizing cream, and I was like, why does my face look so greasy? But it's just got all the stuff in the
Hey, when we were
crevices.
younger, we used Vaseline. No, there you go. What happened to Vaseline? You just slap that right there. Put the makeup on top of it. You have to worry about
Oh man, she right though. Yeah,
that's
Oh
that's
gosh,
right.
true.
we straight
That
took
is
over.
true.
Okay, I'm sorry, but okay, but hold on. Okay, Dr. Jamal though. So in aging fearlessly, so let's address what the fears are. Yes, it is an overwhelming amount of fear in dealing with our
Hmm.
looks.
Hmm.
However, there's an overwhelming amount of fear in regards to what our bodies are doing.
Correct.
And I know for myself, you know, my colleague over here, Felix, says 36 is young. But I'll have you all know that I have had a lot of health issues. And I would joke with my parents and say, I'm getting it out the way now so I don't have to deal with it later when I get old. But that stuff is scary, you know.
Hmm.
I'm married to someone older too, you know, so we have these discussions. And yeah, I'm a grandma, y'all. Like he's older. So
Making us great grandma.
but we look great. That's all that matters. No, so you know, I've been in hospital. I've dealt with so many different things,
Hmm.
and with the doctors, if they're not able to tell you the why, then it adds to the fear.
Hmm.
And I feel like the fear compounded on some more fear, compounded on whatever it is that started it, just keeps it going.
Hmm.
Mm.
You know, like I don't know what the original issue was, but now I have multiple issues because I'm afraid of what the issue was. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, like,
Can
how
be
do
fine.
you address those people? That's like their very fears have gotten them into health issues.
Mm.
Well, overcoming the fears is an individual thing. It really isn't going to be the same thing for everyone. I think part of overcoming the fear is acknowledging that it's not you alone. There are a number of other people that are challenged by the fear as well, even though they're responding to it differently, and they may have different coping mechanisms to address those things. You're not alone. The
Hmm.
and I think you have a video actually of somebody who talks about some of those fears as well and overcoming them. And this is
I do.
somebody who's very accomplished as well. Um, I think it's important that we acknowledge not only that it is um, a fear that's real and it's present in many of our lives. It is something that is that we're able to overcome. It doesn't have to define us, nor does it have to restrict us. We do have to deal with it and overcome it, and it's not going to be the same tools for everyone. If you can
Mhm.
go ahead and play that video, then we can talk about it on the other side.
Sure, absolutely. And so you guys know, the lovely young lady that we're playing is from a wonderful show that I used to watch when I was a kid, Family Ties. You may recognize her. She was Mallory. There we go.
No audio.
Oh. Okay. I was told that you couldn't hear it.
Uh-uh.
Okay, hold on. Please hold. Here we go. We're gonna start again. Okay, I forgot to click the little thing. Here we go.
This face, fully functional face, right, has smelled for my whole life, from in the womb to now, has smelt everything I've smelt, has said everything I've said, has cried every moment I've cried, has laughed every time I've laughed. And so am I now going to go, yeah, thanks for all of that. Thanks for everything you ever did for me, whatever. Now I'm going to chew up because I don't like you.
Welcome, Justine. I am so happy to have you here. As you know, I read your book, which is all about this compulsion that women feel to fix their faces when they age. I wrote a column about it, and I devoted most of my newsletter to it. And we got a flood of emails and comments. In it, you write about all the experiences that your face reflects, that all this life is written on that face. That's the very thing people get criticized for. Like, boy, she shows her age. That's a thing.
Okay. Well, first of all, when people say something like that, they're telling me about themselves. They're not telling me about me.
That's true.
They're telling me about how they look at life, and they're telling me how they look at themselves. And the other thing I want to say about that is, so my professional position now is as a writer, director, producer. I have to command the set. I have to be a leader. I have to be an encourager of people that are working on the set, all of that, right? To me, if I have a face like this, it's a shortcut to, oh, she's an authority. She's in a position of authority. If I have a face like this, then maybe it's going to take them a few minutes to go, if I just look 23, it'd take them a few minutes to go, she's in charge? You know, does she know what she's doing? And then as they get to know me, they'd see that I know what I'm doing. But this is a super duper shortcut to that, I think.
I'm going to revise my thinking about all of my stuff that I think about based on this conversation. No, I do want to get it. You said something about men or people being aggression against faces that are wrinkly because we don't see them. I saw some of that. And I wondered what you thought, because you used the word aggressive or aggression against aging faces. What did that mean to you?
Well, I found it when I found all those comments about my face online. I was really taken aback with the vociferousness with which they posted these. I mean, it's like sometimes when you see bad reviews on Amazon for different products, you know, but some of these bad reviews are so passionate. It's like, really? Did that inflatable raft really that much? You know, I mean, you've written an essay here. This is pretty remarkable, right? It pushed your buttons. So yeah, I do find that really interesting. seeing that my face or someone's older face would put other people's buttons so much, maybe because they themselves are critical of their own faces, or they had a mother that was very critical of her own face. And so they've got it in their heads that one must be critical of women's faces. So for a lot of it's a rule that they have in their head about older faces that must be fixed. And if someone is not doing it, then I think they themselves as a defender of that rule, and you can't break that rule. And on my end, it's like, I can't break your rule. I don't really care about your rule.
Very, very, very profound statements there. The whole focus on issues with regard to wrinkles and things of that sort, they do tend to be more critical of women than they are of men with the situation, but both are wrong. The truth of the matter is that none of those things should define us, our value, or diminish our value at all. Again, and she's right, they're projecting more than not when it is that they are overly critical of your look, be it wrinkles or weight or whatever. It's because they have those issues within themselves, and they don't want to have the same things that you're seeing with you because they fear themselves looking like that. And so those are problems that, again, we have to try to change those things. There's one more thing that I think is so important to recognize, is that when you're looking at somebody who's putting themselves out there to the point that they're on TV, or they're being filmed or whatever, they're in the arena. You hear me? They're actually in the arena, and you're in the cheap seats watching them, and you're gonna be critical of somebody who's in the arena. If you're not even in the arena, you don't even. To me, your opinion doesn't matter enough for somebody in the arena to start feeling embarrassed or whatever. Being in the arena is something that you should celebrate. That you arrived, you made it. I'm here, okay? And that's something that I think is very important, regardless of whether or not you are male or female, is that we do a better job of celebrating having arrived and appreciating those that have arrived, and stop getting into these little petty things and defining the value of someone by their body image, or by whether or not they have wrinkle, or whether or not they have gray hair. Or those are not really very important issues. Some of the most talented and gifted actors that we have, they look a whole lot different than they did when they were younger, but they're still awesome, and they're still able to put
Absolutely.
on a wonderful performance.
Do you
Same
know? Yeah, one of the things that I find though that is really interesting to me is that I hear so many seniors
Mhm.
criticizing being old,
Mhm.
and saying, well, like we're in customer service, and I was doing customer service with CenturyLink, for example. I would speak to people about their modems,
Mhm.
and they're saying, well, I don't know anything about this technology. I'm old. I'm 55 years old. And I'm like, if you only knew how old I am, you young whippersnapper. But but the thing is they've established that just because they don't know, or just because they're not engaged in the technology, that means that they're old.
Mhm.
When there are younger people who don't know as much technology as we do,
Sure, absolutely.
right? And
Facts.
it's not right, and it's not
Mhm.
an age thing. And so that's something, and I think that the media has really been responsible, and we've allowed it to happen.
Mhm.
But the media has been responsible for depicting what age looks like, how old looks, how
Mhm.
old is defined. And I believe that what we have to do is redefine ages,
Agreed.
Mhm.
aging, I should say. And I think that there is this anti-ageism, anti-age sentiment that we need to intentionally do something to overcome.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
I,
it's
I would like to pause there if you don't mind,
sure.
and
Go
take
ahead.
a break. And going to do something we didn't do last week. and that was
Oh.
we're going to do the find the fake as well. So first of all, I want everybody that you are free to comment or ask questions, and those of you that are chiming in from YouTube, this is what I want you to do. Please and thank you. All of that helps this channel, this show. So I appreciate your support, and I love all of you already been supportive. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So here we are. We're taking our break. Listen in. Jamal Rogers, and I'm a singer, songwriter, choreographer, voice actor, and I'm the creator and talk show host of Pure Live. Pure is an acronym for perfectly undefined raw elegance. So naturally, we want our content to be pure, raw, and elegant. It airs live every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. And if you'd like to see all of the episodes, you can reach it at asiajamal.com, ASIAJAMAL.com. Or if you'd like to be on the show, you can reach me at asia@asiajamal.com. Hope to see you soon. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, my producers are responsible for that lovely trailer. They did so well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, we had something to work with. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It was fun.
So, yes, I am so happy with the final results. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to get into... Yes?
Since we just played that, and again, we're talking about that whole thing of ageism, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a lot in today's music industry, there is this assumption that you don't really have to be much of a musician to play the things it is that, or to put together the things. It's just hooking it up, like hooking up some beats, right? The instrumentation that was there, I played, right? And it has nothing to do with my age. I'm still a serial learner. I'm always learning from everybody in any venue or genre that I can from, and able to adjust to the style that's being asked. Because the first style, or the first, I would say, example, right, of what we were going to have for you, you didn't necessarily want that. You wanted something different, and so I had to adjust. But I had to adjust and play, and in adjusting and playing, I ended up with something that you actually liked. So being old doesn't mean that we can't learn, change, or adapt.
Amen.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay. Like, just for instance, if somebody said, hey, you know what? Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones, they're kind of old school. I don't think I want them to write me a song or produce. I feel sorry for them.
Me too. Because they are fire. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
just saying.
And again, for what he said. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what we are about to do is we are going to play the wonderful game, also that came up by my producers, called Find the Fake for Dr. and Jamal.
Fake.
Oh, get ready to rumble. No.
We're going to see how much of these are true. These are all statements about Dr. Aaron Jamal, and people have to determine which one is true. Right?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And you get the answer right, you will be qualified to get a prize from moi. All right, here we go. right. I hope you all were paying attention. Um, you know what's so funny? I
What?
was nervous about not knowing which one. 'Cause- so you guys, so you know, when my guests come on and they, we do the find the fake, they tell me which one is false. Now, obviously, they raised me and everything, but my mother clearly knows my father more than I do, and she's the one that handles the fake. So I was nervous. I was like, what if I don't know? She didn't tell me ahead of time. But I looked at it. I was like, oh, I know the fake. I know the fake. I got it. Felix says, hey, I am sorry you were incorrect.
Wait a minute, Felix. Felix,
What
you gonna do? Are you gonna go through the whole alphabet? A was that his
A, B, C, or D?
A was that his favorite snack food is peanut butter. B is that his middle name is Moses. C is that I forgot what I put down for C. Was that the fake? Yeah. So anyhow,
one of them was
No, it's
for
not.
he played for the Commodores. Was that D? I think that was D.
that was D. Yeah, he right. He was in the last World Tour with the Commodores and the Emotions. That was the last World Tour that Lionel Richie and the Commodores did.
Are you giving
Fake
away
keyboard.
answers right now, ma'am?
Oh, I thought you.
Sounds like
I'm
it.
sorry.
Ma'am,
Huh? What happened?
you got to give them time.
Time. I should pay more attention to the show, right? It's one of those.
Today, actually.
I know. I know.
All right, let's continue on in the conversation. He said next thing, Felix.
Since clearly it's not D, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, you have the opportunity to win. Felix is disqualifying himself because he has chosen 3 different answers.
Speaking of aging fearlessly, that's one of the things that I found as I'm older, I laugh more.
Which is actually very healthy as well.
I really do. I laugh a lot more than I used to when I was younger. That's right.
More than I laugh right now. People are going to think something's wrong with me because I laugh all the time. I laugh all the time. I love to laugh, but that's how we were raised, you guys. My parents are hilarious. My siblings are hilarious. We make each other laugh. We make jokes all the time. But anyway, this is good, actually. In regards to aging, they say laughter is good for you. Just saying.
It is.
Okay.
It really is.
All right. Moving on with the conversation. Let's go. Okay. Obviously, I'm feeling goofy today. In regards to the whole thing, what she was saying, rules. I don't care about your rules.
Right.
It interesting. So, what are the rules? Let's think about this. They say wrinkles means you're old. You don't qualify for certain things, roles, positions, jobs, whatever. In acting or modeling or whatever.
You lose your filters. They say that after you get older, you lose your filters. So that means you pass gas and you don't care. You say whatever is on your mind.
You say whatever you want to say.
Right? You say what you want to say. Do what you want to do. You're the Addams family now.
In that respect, I'm old because my filter is going.
You were born old.
My mother says I'm older than her, you guys.
In a nice way. I'm gonna be like Asia when I grow up. What would Asia do?
Oh my goodness. The other interesting things that she said was she wore her wrinkles like a badge of honor. She got more respect, because she looked like she had authority. What does that mean? I feel like that. So it's like, okay, aging fearlessly. You grab onto that. Oh, I look like I have authority. Let's deal with that. I had a situation recently that I know my parents have dealt with as well. And that is being over experienced in the job
Mhm.
industry.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What do they see? Well, all of us have to make some money, right? So we're
Mhm.
applying for these jobs left and right. The older you get, for whatever reason, it gets harder and harder. You would think, oh, well, I have all this experience. Surely you want me. But they're like, you have too much experience. You may do your job too well. That's not what they're saying. What they're saying is, you're over experienced. You may want to take my job. You're over experienced. You may want to go to something else shortly after I hire you. That's what they're saying. So, does that mean that we don't get a chance to make money because our face or our experience says we're too good for you? What is that?
There is a mindset out there, and I'm talking about some of the larger employers, that when they invest into you as an like they've hired you not as a contractor, but if they actually hired you, they expect that you're going to spend, say, 6 to 8 weeks training you as a investment, that you're going to stay in that position that they trained you for until they actually experience a real return for what they trained you to do. That's the mindset, right? And you come in their
Mhm.
experience, they don't believe that you're going to require that much time to actually learn the things, and you'll probably be looking to move out of that position sooner,
Mhm.
and they don't feel like they've
Mhm.
gotten their investment back. So that's part of the mindset. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is the territory, or as you say, the rules that are out there. You hire
And
somebody, they should stay in this position for this long.
also, I believe along with that, I think that's a very good point too, Dr. Jamal. Also, along with that, is that people think that you're going to come in and try to change things,
True.
that you won't fit in as much because you have all this experience and you know the right way to do things. And they want you to get in there gradually and kind of get in where you fit in
Hmm.
and make them look better.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, and we've had our experiences, like, because you've had this experience, you really know how things should work. And then you're able to see what's not working well, and people don't want to be exposed that way.
True. True.
Hmm.
And of course, going in without those filters, you're going to point it out. And it's not as easy to control people who feel experienced and confident. And
But
I do believe that we're in this age where people want to be in control. Go ahead.
I don't necessarily think it's an age thing, though. I think there should be a bilateral
Oh, I mean
exchange.
the age. I mean the age of the world age. I don't mean the age of the physical age. I'm not talking about. I'm saying we're in this age. We're in this arena, this
Okay.
I
space.
see what you're
Okay.
I
saying.
should have said
Hmm.
space. Yeah,
Okay.
we're in this space where people want to be in control, and there it seems to be, like she said, that authority where you
Mhm.
come in with the wrinkles. You're in charge. All of a sudden, you're in charge. You're going to change me. You're going to judge me. You're going to tell me what's wrong with me. I think that that's something that people anticipate that older people will come in doing, right away, because we're not intimidated.
Hmm.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that younger people are either, though.
That's true.
And I'm sure that Asia's experienced that as well. That there's people that are younger than she is coming in. They not only have less intimidation, they actually have far more aggressiveness, and in some situations less respect, even for those who are more experienced. And so again, age is really not a good barometer for what somebody's bringing to the table. Some people have reached a chronological age but don't necessarily have the experience. Some people are younger, but they've acquired a great deal of experience because they've actually moved around and been exposed to a whole lot of things. So again, that number is really not a good barometer for
May I
what's
ask you
being brought to the
something
table.
about this fear? And I know we don't have a lot of time. This COVID thing is really interesting to me as far as the fear is concerned.
Okay.
You would think that that older people, because they're saying that older people die sooner, or as far as COVID is concerned. But I think that it appears that the younger people are more afraid to die than the older people. And it really bothers me about the older people who are not afraid to die being careless and saying, well, I'm not going to wear a mask because I'm going to die anyway. I'm old. and we're hearing this conversation.
Mhm.
But why do you think that? And have you had that experience? I'm gonna say, just throw it out there, that it appears that younger people, like we said, aging fearlessly. Older people appear to be, as they get older, some older people, not stereotyping, are more afraid to live older than to die
You're saying the
younger.
younger people are more afraid to live?
No, the older people are more afraid to live. In other words, they're not afraid of COVID. They're not afraid of dying. They're more afraid of living.
Oh, okay. So, right. So I'll speak from person's perspective. Because first of all, I would say I more so identify them as of identify with them as of right now. Um, and arguments I've had, it it's really it's really rooted in ignorance, to be honest. Um, we don't know what all of this means.
Mhm.
Mm,
So there are so many different avenues in regards to gathering information. So it's like a matter of your opinion and
Mhm.
what's right, what's wrong. I have my favorite person that I like to listen to on Facebook, which not Facebook, YouTube, which is Dr. Mike. I love Dr. Mike because I
mm,
feel like he's real frank. He gives you a lot of details. He brings in other
mm,
medical professionals, lets you know the nitty gritty, even corrects himself when he's wrong. So that's why I like him. I am
mm,
also a different personality. I'm a researcher. I like to dig in, which a lot of young people are
mm,
like that.
Mhm.
However, I feel like that we think that we're smarter and more educated and more wise than we really are.
Mhm.
That's what I personally believe. I'm
And when
always
you say
open
we,
to
you're referring to who?
young or the younger generation.
Okay.
You know, we're not senior citizens. We're not quote unquote old as of yet, but we're concerned about aging the wrong way and messing ourselves up because we
mm,
are not properly educated. We don't know what's right, what's wrong. And when we went through a whole administration situation in regards
mhm,
to things being put out there that were false, it's like, well, who do you trust?
Mhm.
mm,
So we end up being our own teachers, unfortunately. You
mhm,
know, we're like, well, I think that this is the right way because according to this and this and this makes sense. So, maybe I should do it this way. Maybe if I change my diet, I don't have to worry about the vaccination and stuff like that. And it's just like,
mhm,
really?
Yeah, COVID don't care.
Yeah.
mhm,
I communicate more with older people than I do younger people. And the older people are
mhm,
just like, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this world. I'm so tired of this mess. I'm so tired of
mhm,
y'all. It's like, look, if I die, I die. I've lived a good life. Whatever. I'm tired. That's what I've been hearing. And, you can tell me if you've been hearing differently, but that's what I've been hearing.
I don't think it's a one size fits all testimony, if you will. I do believe that there are those that have said the things it is that both you and Dr. Margaret are saying. I just don't think that's the sentiment um, that is one that would actually even talk about the majority. I think there are a
Mm.
great deal of people out there that have a fear, but the fear is not necessarily just for themselves, but for those it is that they love. I know for
mm,
myself, I was not governed just by whether or not I could catch this thing. I was motivated, inspired by the threat of me bringing something home to my wife. I think that sentiment is very, very strong out there. And I think there's probably a majority of people that are more concerned about them causing someone to become sick because of their recklessness.
mhm,
And
Mhm.
that's hope. That's hope there for the nation. That's why I do believe there are more people that want to do that than have bought into the misinformation and the lies that have caused people to be afraid to become vaccinated or even try to ignore the threat of what COVID actually can do.
mhm,
Um, so I don't know that that's really just an age thing again, because I do think that there are younger people that are reckless, as I believe that there are older people that are self-centered and unrealistic about what it is that they can actually do. If I cause one of my children or grandchildren to wind up being sick with COVID because of my
Mm,
recklessness, that's something that I would really struggle with no matter how long I lived, you know?
mm-hmm.
So,
You're right.
again, I don't know that that's really an age thing. I just think it's unfortunate that the popular sounds or narratives that get out there are repeated over and over again, retweeted, all of that
Mhm.
stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't believe that that's the majority.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The one thing that has helped, the one thing that has helped me as far as aging is concerned, to not fear so much, because there was a time when I honestly was probably overly concerned about it. And I just had a dream one time. It was a dream. And I told your dad about it, where I dreamed about he and I were in a rocking chair,
Yeah.
rocking together, holding hands, old wooden rocking chair. I had long white hair, and he had long white hair and a long white beard. And we were rocking in the chair and looking at each other. And for whatever reason, okay, if you can picture that, right? We're on the
Yeah.
balcony out in the woods somewhere rocking. But for some reason, I don't know why, it's like it gave me a peace that I felt. And our relationship with the Lord has been more than anything what has helped me to face those challenges. It's not that, like you said, getting sick. Nobody wants to get sick
Hmm.
and have to, we are concerned about being a burden.
Hmm.
We're concerned about our children feeling like they have to take care of us. That is something that it concerns us. But I'm saying that, concerned about Alzheimer's, about dementia, about all of these things that people associate with aging. But just like what you were saying, Asia, is if we are preoccupied with worrying about aging, it's going to make us age even faster, because
Correct.
even the science shows that stress
Yes.
it brings a body. You take all the vitamins, eat the right foods and everything else, and then you're stressed out and then you get sick,
Hmm.
mhm.
right? That
Right.
builds it down. And I think that the bottom line, that we want people to make the decision first and foremost, they're not going to be afraid of aging,
Mhm.
but will embrace it. And we need to, again, intentionally find the good in
Hmm.
getting old.
Mhm.
Aging
Absolutely.
is a privilege, it's
It
not a
is.
punishment.
Agreed.
That's right. And clearly, we've run out of time. We don't have a part three scheduled, people, but obviously, there's so much we haven't covered. I want to say this. We've addressed so many different things,
Oh,
and
you want us to tell the fake?
I am going to tell the fake. So,
See,
okay, let me say that first. I know what the fake is.
what is it?
The middle name, that his middle name is Moses. Should I say why?
Go ahead.
That the reason I know that's a fake, because my dad doesn't have a middle name. So boom.
In fact, if in fact, just a little trivia, he doesn't, and neither do your two brothers. Only the
Right.
girls
Neither
have
do my
middle names.
brothers.
Hmm.
And you can have your own opinion about it. But it's 10:01, and I want to say this in regards
Yeah,
to
that's
in
right.
regard in regards to he's a trick question. Yeah. In regards to some of the things that we said in regard, like I said, that one of the reasons I feel that we behave the way that we do is due to ignorance, and all I do is I invite you all to not just believe what I say or what we're saying in regards to getting vaccination or whatever. I invite you to actually go deeper than you've been going. Do some real
Hmm.
research for yourself.
Mhm.
because we've come to our conclusions because of our own research.
Mhm.
So do some real research. Don't just go with the party that you're accustomed to, politically. Don't just go with, your homeboy, your homegirl, whatever. So and so told you this and so. Do your own research and do what is best for you, regardless of what you think other people are going to say about you. That's it. That's all. And yes, I invite you to pray about it. And you say what you want to say. Do I call this a Christian show? No, but I've made it very clear, unapologetically so, that I am a Christian. And I believe that God has led me to so many awesome, right decisions. And I am so blessed because of it. Um, and so I invite you guys to challenge your way of thinking by doing your own research.
Mhm.
Period. Do you guys have any closing remarks as we are past time?
Oh, I had a good time. Thank you so much for having me.
You're
I am
welcome, my
definitely
darling.
honored. It's been fun. Both shows have been very fun, and you're right. There were so many things it is that we could have talked about, and the span of time goes by so quickly, especially because we're stories. This is what I want to close with. All of us are stories. Your
Mhm.
story is still not completed, as mine is not either. But we have to be intentional. I'm speaking to myself as well. We have to be intentional in documenting that story so that at the time that we've actually gone and left this earth,
Mhm.
that the story we've left behind is one that actually represents what we would like it to represent. You have to be
Mhm.
intentional in making those markers. And so, regardless of how long you're actually able to be on this planet, I would invite you all to truly celebrate that you're in the arena and make notes about your experience in the arena so that you can share it with others.
Yes, very good.
Amen. Absolutely. And I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that I will be performing alongside my sister and many other wonderful vocalists at Lollapalooza,
Awesome.
Music in the Key of Chicago. All
And it's
right,
streaming on
Sunday,
Hulu.
streaming on Hulu. Just look up Lollapalooza. As you can see the spelling right here on the flyer. Write it down. I have it up for a few seconds, and there you go. Okay, it is August 1st, 12:30 to 1:15 p.m., and we are gonna get down, y'all. So see you there.
All right. I'm going to be
Be
watching.
And
blessed.
be blessed. Hey, there might be a part three somewhere. We don't even know. We don't even know. But let me know if you have questions, if you have comments. Continue to go ahead and comment, and I will see all of them. And until next, remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. And I will see you here again next week, Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to deal with finances for a whole month, people. Okay?
Mm, all right
All
then.
right. Be here.